When the patch originally dropped, I thought the patch was pretty lame. I can see there's like concepts behind it that are very interesting. It's very new. I just thought the delivery of the patch, the execution, like the numbers, the small things of the patch were not ironed out. I think now we're here a couple of months later, it's much better than it was on release. It was like much better. It's actually like, I feel it's enjoyable now. I really enjoy playing this new patch, abusing the twin gates. Like the twin gates, they grew to me a little bit. I still don't like Watchers, and I still don't like the Tormentor thing. But other than that, I think overall good.
I think the biggest thing about this patch or 7.33 in general has been the twin gates and the wisdom rooms. I think the game as a support revolves a lot around like understanding the minute timings, when you should be ganking on the twin gates, and then when you should be positioning for the wisdom rooms, and all these objectives. There's also the Lotus that I forgot to mention. So like there's almost an objective every minute, and you kind of have to feel it out when you're supposed to be going for it, when are you supposed to be pulling, and a lot of these timings just comes down to playing a lot and getting a good feel for these things.
It hasn't changed much. You still have to do anything you had to do before. It's only that maybe you get a little more farm. Sometimes I get lost because the map is so big.
I'd say the movement of the Roche Pit to the side lanes. I think that combined with the Wisdom Runes and the Tormentors. Tormentors are probably the least impactful out of all of them, but it's really just the objectives on the side lanes. I think throughout all of Dota's history, mid lane was the most important lane. And now it feels valued for the first like 10 minutes to make sure your mid laner gets runes and secured their like early momentum. But now like pretty much all the game play, like all the fights, all the strategic movements that the teams are making are now on the edges and corners of the map, which is just so drastically different than what we've seen in the past.
Morphling is not super overpowered. It's just that since they introduced this brand new concept like Universal, like literally if you buy Ags on Morph and you press it on Universal here, it's over. Like you cannot play your hero. So I think that needs to be fine-tuned, and I think he's fine. They need to buff basically half the heroes in Dota, because it feels like after they introduced this Universal stat, it kind of killed half the heroes, because they're just simply not as strong as the Universal stat. I think they just went too big concepts without fine-tuning them enough.
Obviously, it's the most contested and controversial hero of the tournament. A lot of teams are choosing to play Versa, a lot of teams are trying just permanently banning it. But one thing for sure is the contestation rate on the hero is very high.
Yeah, I do watch the games, do watch the tournament. Good times, fun tournament, great work. Love Morphling. Great hero, good to see him in every game. Certainly happy he's not deleted.